Hi Taurus, welcome. We're back. This is your monthly reading. This is the Feminine Inquisition, where we ask all the hard questions. What is underneath? Stirring our insides. How can we be softer? What can we allow for? The deeper meaning of all that surrounds us, the coincidences, signifiers, the symbols, the synchronicities, the gift of being human and having the ability to pay attention to it all. Taurus. How do you feel, Taurus? You are an integral part of this full solar eclipse that is occurring. We're experiencing that energy. You sort of having a moment here as you give your energy from the pole of the north and south node. As we come into the latter portion of the year, taking and finding comfort, solitude, reflections, shuffling for November for Taurus. One more. Crystal Ally deck. Can I see for Taurus, please? For Taurus for November. We have innocence, we have discipline, and we have path of service. Two things that really wanted to come out together as a separate individual message is higher self and forgiveness. Your innocence, your youth, your freedom, your carefree choices, your pursuit of pleasure, your seeking and wonder of joy as it is experienced by everyone, the search for light is how you find discipline to stay committed to your path of service. The separate, isolated message, I guess, that assists you in this time is that your higher self wants to communicate to you the importance of forgiveness. I don't know what you've done, what you think you've done, but Source sees you as perfect. Source sees you as unconditional love. Sorry. So let's check it out. For Taurus for November, clear messages, please, Spirit. What is the challenge this month for Taurus for November? Challenge. The challenge for Taurus for the month of November. We have the Four of Pentacles, Strength in reverse, the Six of Pentacles, the Moon, the Emperor. So you're coming into a place of authority in your life. That is what is the driving force of this time, these next 4 weeks. What you've been building up to. It looks like you've been holding back. You've been holding back. I've got the Four of Pentacles here with the Strength in reverse. You've been holding back. You are either holding on to an old way, an old idea, or withholding because you lack the courage. Not sure which battles are worth the fight. Not sure what you have the strength for. And so you sit and you withhold even from yourself. It's not balanced. And it's rooted in emotionality. I got the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Moon. Without facing what is in this hidden, underneath, sort of unknown territory of your emotions, you cannot find this prosperous path of service. You cannot find your discipline for your innocence, for your creativity, for your play, to co-create, to become the emperor, the authority on your life. So the challenge here is about, it's one of courage, it's one of bravery. It might also be one of reflection. What stops you from having the strength? What stops you from being able to go full force, 2 feet in front of each other? You have the discipline, but there's something about your idea, maybe, of your creative spirit. Do you feel like you're too naive? Does the innocence get the best of you? Do you use are you impatient with your creative process? Do you judge your creativity and your output before you give it a chance to just be? We're talking about a path of service here, so it's not going to look one way. When you go to help someone, when you go to bring your gifts to someone, you don't know what they're going to need. And so you need that innocence and that freedom you need that receptivity to show up. Let's find out. Why is strength in reverse? Why is strength in reverse? I've got justice in reverse. Tells me that you're not fair. You're not fair with yourself. You're unkind to you. You don't have an objective nature by the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you think of your craft and the way that you think of your gifts. I wonder why. Where's this coming from? Let's check it out. 1, 2, 3. What brought this on? Where's this coming from? Why is justice in reverse? As it relates to strength in reverse. Where's this coming from? Page of Cups. You shifted at some point. I don't know when. I'm getting two storylines. One, you shifted. You made a shift from living in the Pentacle world, really being dominated by the 3D, by the need to have X, Y, and Z, the pressures of being propertied, having X, Y, Z, like a car, a house, a lease, a mortgage, etc. Okay? Comparisons to people that are within your family, within your social circle, as well as people on social media. You were trying to race, find a side hustle, build up your funds without joy. And it looks like one of the storylines is that you tried to make a shift. And so you're in this stage of newly entering a different expression. And the different expression is one of emotionality, creativity. You are a novice at this. You are a novice at taking what shows up for you inside in your mind's eye, or an expression of care. Perhaps it's a kind of caretaking. Maybe it's working with children. There's something about here, your creative output, that is new for you. And you don't like being, you don't like not being a master. So you judge yourself harshly. The other storyline I'm getting is that perhaps you have a child. This Page of Cups is a young person or your own child. And at this point in time, you're struggling with the discipline it takes and the pressure you have about raising them. You have a lot of anxiety about this, but you also know that it feels so good to settle into an innocent, childlike wonder and just be with them and just be present with them. And so this pressure that are in both of these storylines, it's self-created. You can lift it easily, but you have to face the moon to understand where it's coming from. Some trauma, some wound earlier on about comparison or how things are supposed to look. That's why the Six of Pentacles is in reverse. That's all about pretense and materialism. Do you come from some sort of family handed down dysfunctional relationship with money? Let's see. That's the cat. What's in the moon energy? What's in the moon? Knight of Swords. What's in the moon? A lot. All right. The moon clarified by the Knight of Swords and the Six of Wands together. So this message is about two of these energies side by side show me the paradox and the duality that you exist in and why the pressure builds up, okay? You have the Knight of Swords, who's the fastest knight in the deck. The Knight of Swords does not mess around. He comes out front line of the battle, and he swiftly cuts out everything that is not working, right? Very critical, quick, decisive action, but with a blade that is unforgiving. This is not a person seeking conversation or understanding. This is not compassion. This is deciding what is and what isn't working and taking action on it. And here you have someone who is receiving congratulations, recognition, accolades. This is as much pride as one can take in doing a good job and being received for that work, for that output, for that productivity. The two of these side by side are the two faces of ego. Now, what else does the moon have to say? Death, Page of Swords, Three of Wands, Knight of Wands, Five of Cups, Two of Cups. There's an ending. There's an ending of this inconsistent approach, this stop and start of saying that you are going to do something, being super ambitious, creative, super ambitious, out there, and then waiting for that to come in, for that to manifest, but being inconsistent in the steps that you take to make it happen. Being disappointed that the results are not as you intended, and wishing and trying to manage this partnership. Now, this Two of Cups doesn't have to necessarily be love. It can be someone that you're working with, that you'd like to work with, or that you're trying to balance this idea of your professional advancement, your creative output, perhaps your enterprise. You want to be self-employed. But what happens is when you get disappointed from the inconsistent results and waiting and the stop and start of ending and beginnings, feeling like maybe you should just stop everything that you're doing and going into a different direction. Maybe you should move. Maybe you should change. Okay, we'll go back to that. But then you're at the beginning, disappointed, frustrated, and at some point you have this relationship going on in the background the whole time. Is this relationship a real person, or is this just something that you fall back onto? Do you just go back to love? Do you find someone to give you some comfort? Because what you're trying to do work-wise, path of service-wise, is really difficult. Discipline-wise is really difficult. This is a message about innocence and discipline as it relates to your path of service. Let's learn about this relationship, okay? Can you show me this Two of Cups? Can you show me this Two of Cups, Spirit, please, for Taurus? We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Two of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Hermit. Okay, very clear. This partnership ended. It's already over. However, it's something that you fall back on. And why? Because there's some healing that needs to happen here. It is a healing about confidence. The very beginning of the message. Withholding because you don't know what you have the strength for. You don't have enough faith or trust. And you know why. but there's something that rocked your confidence. And so because of that, you're unfair to yourself. You are the only thing that stands in your way of true growth and true healing. So I ask, what's this Two of Cups? I got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. That is someone who is lacking the confidence to feel as though they have the ability to get through anything, which you do because you're human. The Two of Swords, you overcomplicate the situation about making a decision. Perhaps there's not even a decision to be made, but you've made now a decision from something that to me seems like it's already over. The Six of Cups, it's a decision about something that is from your past, which you've probably already made the same decision about. If you've left someone, you've probably left them for a reason. The Hermit in reverse. There are two sides here. Just because you left someone doesn't inevitably mean that you can't work out. Doesn't mean that the judgment that you had on them that one time is the judgment that you should have on them forever. Of course, there are exceptions. People do change. You yourself can change. People can heal. What you thought you knew or what you think you know about yourself and about someone else could inevitably be wrong. And when you get that fresh perspective, it does change everything. So the Hermit here in reverse could signify that there is still healing to be done. That searching for the light within, the answers within, is the process that you're still undergoing as it relates to this Two of Cups. It can also mean that you feel very frustrated with this effort here. This effort for your career, this effort for your creative output. You feel very frustrated with it. And when you do get into this way of frustration, because you are overly critical and hard on you, right? The higher self asked you to forgive you for everything. Because of that, you tend to isolate while you're in this process, the Hermit in reverse. And then you get tired of the isolation because you know you don't deserve it. It doesn't feel good. You're not being kind to you. And so you fall back on this previous connection and partnership of the Two of Cups. I'm going to talk to you about something in the Two of Cups, and then I'm going to ask for advice, okay? So as it stands here, there's three major points I want to talk about. The Four of Pentacles to the Strength in reverse. That line finishes with the Emperor upright. The Emperor is a masculine energy, a commanding, dominating energy who takes big decisions and does it decidedly, okay? He knows. A woman can also be an emperor. She can embody the emperor, right? Because we have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. The Four of Pentacles to the Strength in reverse is insecurity. Withholding because of insecurity. So if this is not doing and the Emperor is doing, we can really reduce, it is a very diminutive way to describe this, but we can reduce these two energies, oversimplifying by saying feminine, masculine, right? And in the Two of Cups, do you see that there is in the center the caduceus, which is the snakes? It's the medical symbol typically. There's a lion with the wings, but the spiral in the in-between is they're two snakes. And these two snakes represent the masculine and the feminine. So here's the rub. Until you can balance the feminine and the masculine in your own life, you will have this one-sided back and forth to this relationship. And even if it's not this person, the next relationship will leave you in this kind of lacking confidence, Two of Swords, standstill, impasse kind of situation. Why? Because of something called projection. So your projection is when you cannot fulfill something in your own life for what it is that the situations you're up against call for, that you rely on someone else to do it, right? We subcontract what we need energetically for all the people in our world. We don't do this on a conscious level all the time, and we definitely don't do it with the communication, right? But there are always some people who come into your life to fulfill the role that you could very well do for yourself. Usually, it's an energetic thing of masculine and feminine. So this withholding, insecure, not sure if it's worth it, this mentality is a feminine energy here. This doing, an outward expression of the Emperor taking control, is a masculine. I don't know where you're sitting in this scheme. And I don't know what's going to happen and when it's going to show up in this month of November. But it's going to ask of you to balance these two sides of you. And when you do, this relationship will be simplified. This partnership will become clearer. Perhaps you leave it all together, or perhaps it is healed and you have a better established connection. Because you know where you stand and are whole when you bring your cup to meet the cup of the other person. And perhaps, most likely this is the case, when you balance out your energies, the polarity of that change, it improves what you're connecting to, just because of the way that energies work. So let's get some advice from a new deck. Strong message here. Interesting. The takeaway is that this path of service that you're walking on is real. You need to be patient with yourself, okay? Also, whatever it is that you're doing as a creative output, it's okay. Just be with it. Just be with it. Play with it. Do not criticize it. It needs room to breathe, grow, and change. The message that came directly for you about the higher self is one of forgiveness. One more time. Advice, please, for Taurus. Page of Cups in reverse. That's 2 pages of Cups in your reading. 5 of Cups in reverse. 2 of Wands in reverse. All right, so you want to change your luck. Wheel of Fortune here at the bottom of the deck. You want to change your luck. And the way that you're going to do it is you're going to take action. This Page of Cups 2 times. With the 5 of Cups to the 2 of Wands. It is a story of forgiveness. It's a story of apologizing to yourself. Internally find a way to feel grateful for the just here and now. Just here and now as it stands. Everything as it is, as it is. And in order to do that, you're going to find a way to feel bright about your future and to stay bright about your future. Keep visualizing, keep the discipline, keep the path of service and what you want at the forefront of your mind, so that you could hold it in your palm and keep walking towards it. Gratitude is the way. I would say some meditation, sitting, breathing, calming your central nervous system to a place of just ease, right? Sitting with what is as is. The magician is peeking out from this deck. And once you get to a place of calm, bring into you the feeling, not the specifics, but the feeling of what it would feel like to be thriving in this entrepreneurial, creative endeavor. Feel it. Just sit in that feeling and try to hold it and try to come back to it at a later time. And then try some free writing when the meditation is over of what the specifics would be to maintain that feeling. What the specifics were that brought that feeling. Or you know that feeling could be associated with. Okay? So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Ciao.